Hi, Zizaran here with part 2 of the Transfigured gems. That's what we're going to look at now. And we already have another video up on YouTube with looking over part 1. They're releasing them in batches. Now, obviously, a lot of these, you'll have to wait and see and actually play around with them because it's kind of hard to figure out exactly how a lot of them work. Earthquake of Amplification. Flavor text looks the same. Base damage is the same. So the longer you make it take for the earthquake to go off, the more damage you get. But if you make it the same as a normal earthquake, it's less damage on ailments. It's actually quite a lot of damage because its base duration is 3 seconds. And if you use increased duration on it, isn't it like giga damage? You might not even need to do bleed. You literally could do hit based, but you can make it be like 6 or 7 seconds for the earthquake to go off, like a delayed nuke. But once you're actually attacking, you can keep attacking multiple times and have multiple earthquakes, right? I could see this being used to one-shot bosses. Like you make this last like 15 seconds and you attack 15 seconds before you run into the boss. And then you just like, you one-shot it. One aftershock and Q max. Yeah, you will have to one-shot it. That's kind of cool. I like it. Thorough Lives of Massacre. First projectile in a circle and more projectiles. So this is just getting rid of the helmet enchant and adding more projectiles to it, right? So this is huge. Isn't this just almost objectively better than normal EK? Oh, the cast time? 0.75. Oh, it's slower. I don't know. I'm not very excited about Concoction, to be honest. Explosive Trap is good for our build. There's a trap that creates an explosion when triggered, dealing spell damage in an area around it. Like, it's better for clearing? Oh, right. They're smaller and larger. It's just like a clearing one. You might have this instead of lightning trap for clear. Explosive Trap of Magnitude. Large explosion when triggered, dealing spell damage in an area around it. This is without the smaller explosions. Interesting. Eye of Winter of Finality. So this is only... It only does something when it actually collides with something. And only with terrain? Or it dissipates, so it's only at the end? So it doesn't fire shards? Fires 14 shard projectiles in a spiral. I don't like that one. Eye of Winter of Transience. Fires a single eye projectile will raise the number of shards in spiral. So it's just about the projectiles on this one, not the actual thing. 15% more damage by the time they dissipate. There's way less damage. It's just like more clear. More base damage though. Firestorm of Meteors. We've seen that one already. I hope that's good. Is this new? Firestorm of Pelting? Did we see that? That looks like more of a clear one. It's literally fireball damage, the meteor one. Yeah. It's kind of sucks because in my opinion, Firestorm is one of the more iconic skills in Path of Exile. And I feel like it's a skill that generally doesn't get a lot of love. Because it used to have infinite overlap, so it was such a good boss killer before. You just got duration and cast speed. And then after a few seconds of attacking, you just nuked everything that was there. It was very, very strong. They should have brought back old Firestorm with one trans gem. Yeah, with like duration scaling. Flame Dash of Return, that's just for 5 ways. Flame Surge of Combusting. Igniting enemies creates Burning Round. Burning Round deals 35 of fire damage per second. Wait, this is great. What's the downside? The cast time. Wait, this is a buff for EA, no? But because it's not going to overwrite your existing Ignite. It has to ignite? No, it doesn't. Oh, igniting enemies creates Burning Round. You're right. It is its own ignite. You're right. It is not a buff for EA. Never mind. Dude, they're so like, the changes are so subtle. You have to read it so many times. But does it have to be the strongest ignite? It's a little unclear. Yeah, of inflicted ignite. Of inflicted ignite. You're right. It is specific enough. So much ambiguity in these terms, dude. I love it. It really, honestly, I thought about doing this off stream last night and reading through them. And I opted in to read it on chat because it helps so much to have, I was going to say a second pair of eyes, but another 3,000 pair of eyes. Flame Blast, slightly more damage. It's 100% effectiveness of added damage, so 10% more. 10% more fire damage. 165 more per stage. Oh, so it's supposed to be just hit based and not ignite. Like you're not meant to ignite with this. There's no more ailments. It's much faster, yeah. That could be really fun for totems though. Like actual hit-based totems. It could be a really fun totem build. Celery Flame Blast sounds really fun. It's a shame totems kind of got nerfed. Flame Blast of Contraction. Channel to concentrate an explosion, which is released when you stop using the skill. The longer you channel, the larger the damage of the explosions, but the smaller the area. A lot less base. 600 more spell damage for each stage. 250 more ailments. So this will be the endgame one you use, most likely. This is insane scaling. How many more stages was it? 11 max? Isn't that insane? That looks really good. The radius decreases. Yeah, you go ignite and prolife. But it's like, this is so good for both clear and single target. This one looks insane in my opinion. Valve Flame Blast probably still beats single target. Why don't you just get Valve Flame Blast of Contraction? Falling a gem turns it into normal. Oh, that's devastating. I hadn't caught that. Oh, that's devastating. Oh, the Valve Seal isn't affected. Right. Oh, okay. Flicker Strike of Power. Yeah, I get it now that the Valve version is normal. It doesn't actually revert the gem. I get it. Power Charge instead of Frenzy. In Power Charges, 30 crit chance per Power Charge. Frenzy is still better though. Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice. Lobs. Good word, I love lobbing. Extra projectile towards enemies around you. Based on your energy shield. Just your energy shield. Nothing else. It does cost life though. I mean, that looks interesting to build around. Frostbomb of Instability, we've already seen that. That's just like actually using it as a damage ability. 1 second duration. This is just similar to Earthquake. CI with 0 life cost. Unless you get the life cost to 0 somehow. That would work. I don't know if you can. Frostplate of Wintry Blast. Same damage, same radius. Cannot inflict chill. 19 more damage per 5 chill on an enemy. Removes chill after damaging. Okay, there's other things I'm more excited about. We've seen this already. I can't remember what it was compared to the normal one, but remember I wasn't super excited about Frozen Legion. It's not really a Zizaran skill. It has no cooldown, just cast time. Interesting. That could be fun. Glacial Cascade of Fissures. Icicle emerge. Reached enemy damage. That's 8 burst. That's 8 instead of 3 is the normal one, right? 100% conversion. Glacial Hammer of a Shattering. 40 crit multi every 3rd successive strike is a critical strike. So it actually is a crit instead of acting like a crit for freezing purposes. Ground Slam of Earth Shaking. 20% more damage with hits to closer target. 100% increased angle. Remember, wasn't there a helmet enchant that just said angle? It just says +1 angle. Hex Blast. 150 more damage if the enemy is hexed. 90% chance to remove a hex after damaging, so it can stay. And 2% more base crit. Hex Blast of Havoc. 616. Deals chaos damage to a single enemy if the enemy was hexed. Deals area damage. Does that mean it doesn't remove the hex? Interesting. Holy Flame Totem of Ire. Area of Consecrated Ground. On the totem, just like normal. Modifiers to number of projectiles do not apply to this skill. Summons a totem which uses this skill. I don't get why you would want this. Lower cast time. It's just 1 flamethrower totem. Single target, but it's not more damage. That... Okay, I'm not very excited about that one personally. That seems kind of naff. Sounds like Scorching Ray. It sounds kind of dull. What it does. Ice Nova of Frostbolts. If the caster targets near their frostbolts, it will expand from a number of those projectiles instead. If skill would be repeated, it will instead expand again from the same projectile. So that's just what they removed. That's just the old behavior. I don't know why. I literally read that as D's nuts. Ice Nova of Deep Freeze. That's just for self-casting it around you. Ice Spear of Splitting. Splits on hitting a terrain, so this is just fork, right? Does lose the second form crit, yeah. This looks like very like League Starty, like fast clear for elemental overload on day 1 and you don't do crit. Like this looks like really good for clear early before you go crit. Because like it's always hard to beat crit. Always hard to beat crit. This looks super nice for like Legion and early stuff. What does damage effectiveness mean? Let's say you have an item. Let's say Fireball had 100% damage effectiveness, right? And you get 10 to 30 fire damage added to spells, then it's the same as adding 10 to 30 to the base fire damage of the gem. If it is 300% damage effectiveness, it's the same as adding 30 to 90 fire damage base to the gem. Icicle Mine of Fanning. Seen that, right? That did look fun. Lancing Steel of Spraying. You want to be sprayed, chat? 12 projectiles. Like a shotgun? Alright, the next one is Groundbreaking. Stun duration against enemies that are full life. This just stuns them for longer. That's for like actually clearing with it. 320 of base. A short distance. Yeah. Lightning Conduit of the Heavens. Double damage. Higher effectiveness. No scaling with shock effect. It's up to 16 enemies. You can just blast. You don't need to shock. Lightning Strike of Arc. Oh yeah, critical strike chance 100. It just crits by default? What the fuck? Yeah, but 10-second cooldown. And no charges. Wonder if what's the support gem that, or the thing that gives the extra charge? Maybe can't have charges. Lightning strike of arcing. Chains 9 times. Could be really good for clearing. Lightning tendrils. Tendies? Dude, honestly, I like reading them, but I'm also sitting here like I need to see how these actually work. Like I need to see them. That's how I learn, man. This is stronger pulse every 6 pulses instead of every 3. Stronger pulses always critical strike. Stronger pulses have 150 more AoE and 500. Sounds awful to play with. Escalation. Is that just the opposite of that? Or in 1 meter to radius per second while channeling? So this is more for clearing. Mirror arrow of bombarded clones. Ooh, wow. So Obama could be super exciting then with both Mirror Arrow and Blink Arrow. Having interesting ones. And the last one is Molten Strike of Zenith. Every 5th attack, projectiles deal 1000 more damage with hits and ailments. Two-handed required though. Uses your two-handed melee weapon. Huh? That's kind of crazy. Awesome. Alright. So much interesting stuff. Again, I'm like really hoping that I get to try a lot of them because I learn a lot more from actually like seeing them in use. But so much, like this is just part 2. We're getting more. So there's so many new things coming to Path of Exile. Going to be really interesting. Really, really interesting to see. Anyway, I hope you guys liked going over the gems with us. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Thanks for watching. Sub if you like it. Good luck in Affliction. And more importantly, try to die than I do.